start this session now. Hi, everybody. I first of all welcome whoever is watching us at this point of time. Let me see who all are there. I guess Namrata is watching us, Neeta ji is watching us, Bhavna ji is watching us. So welcome, welcome Bhavna ji, welcome Neeta Mehta ji, welcome Hazel, Namrata. Good evening, Namrata. Nice to see you right on time. I'm really always admiring the fact that you are the first one to join me always. Sarlaji has come. Thank you, Sarlaji, for coming in and watching us live today, sharing the journey of Dr. Aarti Shirari with you all. Shaina Pulin, Zardosh, welcome. Thank you for coming in. So, hi, good evening, Hazel. Good evening. I hope everyone, whoever's watching us, is safe and healthy, and wherever they are, they're happy and passionate with their life, whatever they're doing, as we are embarking on a journey to celebrate passion. Today onwards, we are starting a journey called Meet the Passionate Souls of UBI. UBI, as we know, is an inked platform. It's united by ink, which connects readers, writers, and all the creative souls across the globe. So here we want to also involve all these passionate souls who are around us, who are driven by passion. As I always say, every great dream has a passion behind it. So if you have a dream, if you have a passion, you will be driven by it. And believe me, that passion, that dream will give you strength, will give you persistence. It will give you so much of encouragement in itself. It will give you excitement in itself to do something which you really love to. As we have always heard of all various people talking about different quotes. I always want to quote this particular quote from Oprah Winfrey. Passion is energy. As she says, passion is energy. Feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you. So whatever excites you, be it dance, be it travel, be it love for nature, photography, it could be anything which you're passionate about. If you're passionate about it, believe me that when you focus on that passion, that energy will excite you and that will drive that passion in you to achieve that dream, whichever you dream of. So never stop dreaming. I'm Sapna and I never stop dreaming. You must have heard so many stories around us when you're talking about India. Bollywood is the first thing which comes to our mind. We know Shah Rukh Khan, how he came in, what he made from his life, which he started from scratch. There's so many stories like that. These days, you must be reading, you must be seeing Pankaj Tripathi is such a wonderful actor. I've been watching him for a long time now, and I really admire his acting as well. I was just listening to his one live telecast called he gives out किस्से सुनाते हैं वो अलग अलग अपनी life के. So he was talking about one kissa of his life, wherein he talks about how that passion of his to achieve something in Bollywood and make a stand in this uh, particular industry, which is not that easy. How he went through what he went through. So it was his passion which drove him. That dream for him came true finally only because of his persistence, his strength in believing in his dream. So believe in your dream and be passionate about what you're doing. Here we are celebrating the passionate people through our 5 anthologies which we have launched. We have 5 different topics which we are coming up with in the form of a bouquet of anthologies. If you know anybody, any such person who is passionate about their work, feel free to connect us to them. We are ready to pen their journey through our anthologies. We have 5 different editors. Slowly, we will be bringing them along, and they will be also interacting with you, and we will make them meet you all personally on the live shows. So wait for the turn to know the faces and know the names. And yeah, so till then, keep spreading the love for dreaming and passion, and share this particular live telecast with whoever you can, because this way we can reach out to many more and motivate so many other people by listening to a journey of a doctor who is a lady oncosurgeon who embarked on a journey to achieve her dream, her passion. And that journey must have surely not been so simple. It's not a short journey. If I'm not mistaken, it's more than 20 years, 23 years, which it has taken for her to reach today where she is. So here I am introducing you to a lady, the Wonder Woman, the health warrior of our anthologies and of the world. Basically, introducing you to a lady who is full of strength, who is full of passion, Dr. Aarti Shrai. Here we have, welcome, Dr. Aarti.
Thank you very much, Sapna.
And I want to introduce you with a small introduction. Although, I mean, it may not be a big one, but I would like to make it crisper and up to the point. She's a doctor, as I said. She's master's in general surgery, diplomat of the National Board, and a member of National Academy of Medical Sciences in India. Wow. And a fellow of European Breast Center Network, Germany. Oh my goodness, Aarti, these are things which really give me goosebumps. You know, it was a dream for me to become a doctor once upon a time when I was a tiny girl. But somehow that work and that persistence which it needed, I did not have probably that. And that's where I'm today, not a doctor. But yeah, I'm so glad to connect with you. Aarti is a passionate oncoplastic breast surgeon for past 23 years. Mind you, it's not a couple of years, not a few years. 23 years is a long journey. She has been trained at the prestigious Tata Memorial Cancer Hospital, Mumbai, and later on by the pioneer Dr. Werner Odrich from Germany. In 1998, when breast conservation surgery was that is preserving the breast in spite of cancer, it was very new. It was at that time, this technique was like just, I think, probably beginning. It was at that time Dr. Aarti got into this field, which is amazing. And I mean, as a woman getting into that field, it must have been, I can imagine, a tougher journey probably to go through, to see the females around you, your fellow friends, your fellow patients go through that journey. As a women, you must have really gone through a lot during that journey, and emotionally too, I guess, if I'm not wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. She was all
You're
of
not.
7 then. I mean, hats off, Pati. Seriously.
Thank you. Sapna, I was 27. I was not married.
Yes.
And at Tata Memorial, we had 6 patients who were 27 with young kids, and one of them died, and her child was 6 months old. And trust me, I thought I was the next one to die because statistics said 1 in 8 had breast cancer. It killed me that day. Statistics killed me. I lost my vision. I lost myself just for a few days. But I think that's what made me what I am today.
My God.
So don't think that you guys are alone. I have sailed to the same boat, being a doctor to the cancer patients, but thinking that it could affect me. I literally had to be extricated and sent for a holiday. And that's where I would love to tell you it's not easy, but yes, when you have a passion to love and serve and make a difference, it doesn't matter what odds are in front of you. You
Absolutely.
never give up.
Absolutely.
It's the resilience, it's the flexibility that gives me strength and defines me who I am.
Absolutely. I agree to you completely. Having been through such a tough moment, it must be tough to talk about those moments though. But today we will take you through that journey again. I hope you're okay with it.
Yes, Robert Schuller has made me stronger. He
Lovely.
said very beautifully, turn your scars into stars.
Stars,
And I
absolutely
love that.
amazing. I
And I
believe
love that.
so. It's always when there is a scar, you have to make sure that how to turn it into a star. All of you who are listening to this, mind you, keep keep your eyes onto your scars because they can become your stars too. Aarti, I will want you to share with us. I mean, other than this, if you have anything which you would like to share as a person, I mean, as you said, how you took to oncosurgery and all, any incidents which, other than this, if you remember, which you would like to share as a, it's basically about your journey as an oncosurgeon and what made you so strong to get into Trust in Pink.
First of all, thank you, Shivani, and the team at United by Inc. for giving me such a wonderful opportunity to relive a lot of my scars and see how beautiful the stars are shining. I thank you all. Thank you. You asked me what is my journey as a lady oncoplastic surgeon. My God, definitions. You know, guys, today I am in a mode to enjoy the words and philosophy of words. I love being a woman, okay? And I love the different roles I play. Be it a mother, be it a daughter, be it a daughter-in-law, be it even the person who has to whack someone. You know, it's my hormones also that I enjoy. They fluctuate, make me emotional, they make me loving, but they always keep me with a vision to love and serve. I think that's what makes me special, being a woman, and that too an oncosurgeon in the field of breast, where I thought I would lose my breasts at 27 when I was hale and hearty. So I thank you all for this wonderful journey that I thank my patients. I thank everybody who has nurtured me for so many years and made me who I am. Cancer should have made me very sad, but that's not what happened. And I need you to understand what happened. So since the age of 12, I wanted to be a cardiac surgeon. Okay. And I loved science. If you can understand the science in me, I love the way the heart could be transplanted. And I thought if some part of the heart is not working well, just take it out and put it in. Imagine I was 12 years old. God. Okay. That dream, I was always fixing in my models, the organ, taking out the parts of the Legos or whatever I could find, or even my own drawing sheets. And I aspired to be a surgeon. But as destiny would paint my life, it didn't make me a cardiac surgeon. It took me to Tata Cancer Hospital and made me a cancer surgeon. Sometimes we do not like what we get because that is not what we want. But we miss out something. There could be a wonderful strike of love or luck awaits us, and we need to have faith in our journey.
Absolutely.
And that's where I took my life as a cancer surgeon. But yes, that fascination of controlling the heart, which keeps everybody alive, is what was still burning in my heart. When I entered Tata Memorial, I just thought cancer means end of the world. Even my mother said, why are you going to Tata where everybody does Tata to life? I started thinking, where has destiny brought me? But I can tell you what it taught me was don't take life and happiness for granted.
Absolutely.
It's the challenge to fight the disease called cancer more difficult than anything.
Agree completely.
Why? Because the chances of you dying of it are higher than being cured of it. And the word itself causes global fear across everybody. So it is the inherent fear which you have even when you don't have. So when you have, you can imagine how exponential the fear is.
True.
And always being a scientist, I wanted to make a difference by doing something which would be impactful in the scientific world, okay? I always thought of innovations. I always used to think I didn't like the idea of operating on patients. And, when we were saving the breast, we were not forming them well. And it looked as though the nipple was looking on one side cockeyed, or like an apple core, or we would do a mastectomy and it would be a flat chest, chemotherapy would make them bald. I hated to see them like this. Dr. Anaira Borges, the head of pathology at Tata Memorial then, used to say, Aarti, what are you doing? You're creating apple core breasts with flat chests and bald heads. Are they women in any shape and form? And I used to wonder, I used to feel glad I'm saving an organ, and here is a pathologist telling me, are they women? And that's where my journey for oncoplastic started. And that's where a lot of innovation started in my life, and meaningful journey, which saw me through a lot of hardships, but always with a smile, is what I embarked on. So I'm really, really eternally thankful to God for making me a woman. Of course, I respect all genders. Please, I'm not a gender biased person, but I love myself being a woman. And I love the challenges life has thrown upon me. And I thank God for the wisdom and the love of everybody, including all of you, who made me who I am today. Thank you.
Wonderful. This is like really giving me goosebumps, and I'm dumbfounded at this point of time, forgetting what to ask you next.
I haven't even prepared my speech, okay? So I'm just speaking from my heart. It's a talk of passion.
I can see that passion in you whenever I spoke to you. So this is a formal interview, but whenever when we have spoken over a call or whatever, I can see that spark and that passion in you from so many years, not now itself, but it's been over the years now. When I'm talking about Trust in Pink Foundation now, I mean, look at, I'm wearing this pink. Am I wearing it right, or am I wearing it wrong?
I think you were wearing it right.
That's fine.
Upside down.
Yes, that's how it should be, right?
That's how I believe that the origin was.
Oh, okay. Can you talk about why and what is this particular sign all about?
Can I just tell you more about Trust in Pink and come to the sign?
Then come to the sign. Oh, lovely. Yes, why not? Why not?
Okay. I'm sure by now you guys must have realized I'm basically a scientist, a passionate, career-oriented woman who believes in getting magic in our hands through career. Where, yes, medical profession and the technologies of immunotherapy, oncoplastic surgery, advanced chemotherapy have all improved the lifespans of women. But they have their own set of complications.
Absolutely.
I am a godmother to 7 kids whose mothers were either pregnant or were breastfeeding when they were born. I am so happy to tell you that I have a young 25-year-old mother who was having breast cancer at 24, 23 and a half to be precise. And then we froze her eggs. And after 1.5 years of completing her therapy, she was impregnated and she is a mother now.
Lovely.
Aren't you feeling happy?
Absolutely. As a woman, I can imagine the happiness in that lady's life.
As a surgeon, Swapna, I was very happy. But as a woman, I still found that the women were not happy. The families were not happy. There was something missing. We were doing marvels. We were thinking we were macho at creating magic with the technological advances in medicines that we were doing. But that was not translating into the happiness that I wanted to see in the eyes of these women because of the word fear, because of the genetic ideology that they may transmit it to their children, because of what will happen next. And I knew that there was something missing. And that was a missing link between the social needs and the medical advances.
Absolutely.
And I really, really thought through it. And I realized there were 2 things that were missing. Was love and compassion. While treating, I'm only thinking of scientific data. While treating, I'm thinking, oh, wow, I did a macho job. This looks beautiful. Wow, I did it. But I'm not thinking when I'm treating of what's going on in the back scenes of their lives. And that's why love and compassion are not necessities. Are necessities, sorry, not luxuries of human life. And I'll quote Dalai Lama for this. I think it's important to understand that we need to have a touch of love. We need to have a touch of the social life also.
True.
Along with it. So to bridge this gap and create a forum of empowerment of breast health for all sectors, because breast cancer knows no sector, doesn't know your VIP status, doesn't know your not VIP status, and it doesn't know your age. And with this view in mind, we started the Trust in Pink Foundation on the 20th of May, 2010.
Wow.
And the dream is basically to have like-minded people in this group who can collaborate with us and work with us and make sure we create a beautiful wave of happiness across the world.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
And don't forget, I am a cancer surgeon still, Swapna. I'm a cancer surgeon still. And I still love operating. I still love the advances, which is a different aspect of being an oncoplastic surgeon. But as the founder of Trust in Pink Foundation, I think we emphasize more on empowerment of health and taking care and prevention of breast cancer.
What are the other projects which you're doing within, what are the different projects which you're doing within Trust in Pink?
I'll just name a few and tell you one of my favorites. So the other projects that all the projects with Trust in Pink are done with the society and the women at the back of their mind. So we have a lactational project to help the mothers. We have the prosthesis. You know, the silicone prosthesis are very costly. So we in-house make prosthesis made of silicone to help them. Then we have our favorite project. My favorite project is Sparshvardhan. And yes, that is what I love.
Why Sparshvardhan? What is so special with Sparshvardhan?
Sparsh means touch.
Yes.
And Vardhan means blessing.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I told you, I always count my blessings.
I get it now.
So
I
would like to share with you the story of Sparshvardhan. Yes.
Tell us.
So Swapna, you asked me whether the ribbon was right.
Yeah.
So what happens is when breast cancer affects, you see the teardrop?
Yeah.
That is how people get affected when they hear about cancer or suffer from cancer. So that's a huge well, you see? So you are a quagmire here and you don't know what's happening to you. And then you see the bond.
Yeah.
And then you see this figure. Now, what does this figure mean? Victory. Not the bunny rabbit. Victory.
For me, it's victory.
Yes, it's victory. And you see that cross that happens to create a victory?
Yeah.
That's what I call Trust in Pink Foundation and Sparshvardhan.
Okay. I always wondered because I think I picked it up from Trust in Pink only very long back. This has been there with me for a long time now. But then during those camps and all that, but yeah, I always wondered how to put it, that some people put it the straight way, some people put it the other way.
So I think if you turn it upside down sometimes, instead of being the normal, you just turn it upside down and see the beauty that it has to offer.
Maybe because
don't be monotonous. Don't be monotonous. Enjoy life.
Aarti, we are upside down people, we are those mad ones who
absolutely
enjoy
and that's what makes us passionate, right? And sees us through.
We are enjoying that particular part and we know what it takes to convert that scar into a happy this happy and shiny star. Lovely.
So I would like to share with you, Sapna, some story about Sparshvardhan.
Okay.
My youngest patient in Tata Memorial was 10 years old.
My God.
Yes.
That's true.
So we're not going for my God, we're saying thank God. Because of her, her name was Nasreen Sheikh.
You can say that.
And I thank God.
10-year-old.
I was her doctor.
10-year-old child, I mean, is it possible in such young age as well? Because we always thought that breast cancer can come after your breasts are developed and you are a full-fledged lady. But a 10-year-old child, how can the child can have a breast cancer? I mean, this is something new to me, frankly. I never thought it can happen to such young girls as well.
I also never thought. What we think does not happen. What happens is reality. And we never thought there would be a pandemic, right? Last year at this time.
Never thought we'd be logged like this.
It happened.
Exactly.
So yes, a 10-year-old affected my life or came into my life with breast cancer, and she was not even a lady then. And only one side of the breast was developing because of cancer.
Oh.
And that's what changed my mind. Sapna, when I saw that the age group, and I told you at 27, when I saw so many young people affected by cancer, I was wondering what was happening. I was realizing the age of cancer was coming down from 50, 60 to 47, quicker downwards. And when I had the 10-year-old in 2001, it was just one person. So, you know, it got me thinking.
20 years back. That's like
yes. It just got me thinking like, okay, this could happen. So statistics does not say that. But it did happen. When it happened to her, it was 100%. But if you think she was the only one, no. And it was global. Hannah Powell from US, she also had it at the age of 10. And it was very clear that the child asked, why am I in the ward of aunties? Isn't that something to feel bad?
It was.
You're a mother, I'm a mother too. It's something to feel bad. I could have said, I feel bad. That's it. But as I told you, I like to see the silver lining. And I decided to do something. And that's where Sparshvardhan came to life.
Okay.
So there is not a single screening program for anybody below 40 in the world, even today.
Oh my goodness.
I tried to teach women the scientific art of breast self-examination taught by Mamacare since 2004. But I was met with a blind eye from the women. They won't understand, they won't want to do it. But I did not want it to be like global warming later, where the age group was coming down and then we did not know what to do. I seriously didn't want to stand in a forum and say, after many years, I'm so sorry, we have no answer to your problems, because that's not me. We had to find a solution to our problems. And that's where we got the birth of Sparshvardhan. Mamacare is a scientific technique which is trained in US, where they teach you how to examine the breast in a scientific manner. They make you read the breast like a braille book. Okay. Oh. I'm sure a lot of you can go on the websites and look at how Mamacare is a technique for examination. Mamacare, yes.
Okay.
And when I realized that they were reading the breast like a braille book, I thought women are not doing it. Women are not doing it. The blind have a gift of hand and touch. Why not mix the two? And that's where is the birth of Sparshvardhan. The story is of common women who are not medicos, but their hands were trained like artificial intelligence or machine learning.
I have witnessed I've witnessed them, so I can vouch for them being blessed, because I don't know if you remember, that has been a long time, but we have met the girls, and I've seen so many cases which they identified at that time.
Audience, this lady